Greetings Republic. We are here today with Miss Camie Lyons. She is a assistant principal at McCulloch Elementary and has been a fifth grade teacher in our district at McCulloch Elementary. And so we're excited to talk to her today about our potential fifth and sixth grade building. So Mrs. Lyons, tell us a little bit about what you see from students, being a fifth grade teacher at one point in time and being an administrator. What do you see from students and parents that are beginning to think about that transition to middle school from fifth grade?
So I think both as a fifth grade teacher and an administrator, one of the biggest challenges and hurdles for that is like they're your babies. They're with you all day and you're helping guide them through all of their needs throughout the entire time that they're with you. And so fourth grade doesn't look much different than fifth grade does right now. And so the concern is then that jump to sixth grade is like, now they're switching to all these classes. They have all these teachers that they're responsible for working with and having different expectations as far as needs and supplies. And so parents and students would always be worried about having to navigate and keep track of what everybody is needing and knowing where to go and not having necessarily that one person that they were able to rely on before to help kind of get them together. And so as much as fifth grade teachers work really hard to try and create that individual accountability, the elementary system just doesn't necessarily support all the needs that they have to be able to transition. So there's always just that anxiety that's taking place for students and for families as far as making sure that their babies know what to do and what are we doing to prepare them for it. It's like sometimes you ask fifth graders and they are excited, like they're excited about the idea for independence, but I would say about 50% of the time they don't want to leave because they're just worried that they aren't going to know what to do. And so the idea of a fifth, sixth grade center is just really exciting because we're going to be able to build a system that's going to be able to support that transition and need.
That's great. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about, when you talk about transition, the physical transition, there's also kind of that social, emotional, developmental piece for that age of child. So tell us a little bit about that transition as well.
Yeah, and I think that's so key because a mentor of mine who taught fifth grade for years always used to talk about how, fifth grade was hard to fit into the elementary setting because, they know that they're going to be going to sixth grade and that it looks so much different and a need for an 11-year-old and their interests and likes are just so much different. Like go out on the playground whenever fifth grade's playing recess and it doesn't look the same as when everybody else is playing because it's more about that social interaction. And the thing that we know is so important for fifth and sixth grade is like those are pretty pivotal academic years for the social emotional development. It's kind of like when we're trying to get them to re-fall in love with learning and get them bought in because of the impact that it's going to have on their future. And so if we don't get that quite right, then they're not going to be bought in if they don't have that connection to school with their peers, with their teachers, in an environment where they have the supports that they need because they're still young. So we don't want to give them too much freedom, but we got to give them a little bit of independence. They don't want to walk in a straight silent line, down the hallway because they know that that's not what it looks like. They hear their friends and their brothers and their sisters talk about it. So that's something that's always a challenge in the elementary setting that's going to allow us to give them that supported and structured independence in a fifth, sixth grade center.
Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing with us and giving us a little insight, yes. And we appreciate it.
Happy to. Thank you.
Go Tigers.